What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Power Rankings, guys. We are here. We are back. We are power ranking everything and anything Survivor Michigan. I'm Paul. As always, I'm here with Joe.
Hello, everybody.
It's good to be back.
It is. It feels like we've been gone for weeks.
Yes, it does. And it feels that mostly because we have been gone for weeks. So that feeling would be accurate.
Yeah, I hope no one got nervous about us, never coming back, because we're here.
We are here, guys. It's been so long. The last time we were on, we were talking about a man getting voted out of Survivor Michigan. That's how long it's been.
What's that like? What's that?
Yes, a man got voted out of Survivor the last time we were here. So I can't, I mean, if you can remember that, you're an OG Power Rankings guys listener. But no, we have been following. Don't worry, we have just so you were on vacation. I've been working a new job. Things have been good busy, but crazy busy.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. And I feel like we've been through 2 breaks.
Yes.
Maybe in the last month or so. So that also has added to it. But yeah, lots of life things. But we're both okay. We have watched the episodes. I watched the one episode on vacation because I was like, I need to see this. I don't want to hear spoilers. But yeah, we're excited to kind of dive
I think you watched episode 11 on vacation and I watched episode 10 at a bus stop. So we were we had very...
That's how diehard of fans we are.
We are diehard, yes.
We take days off, but we also don't take days off.
Yes, and you could we have a chat with Sam that is full of random thoughts also. It's sort of the podcast rough draft. And then also filled with things we don't always say on the podcast. So, on that note, we are at Final 7.
Oh my gosh. That's it? It's funny, I was writing down the names before this, and I was like, I'm missing people. No,
you're not.
7 left.
There's only 7 left. Last time we talked, there was 10 left.
Wow.
There are now 7 left. And as we said, we've lost 3 people we really loved back to back to back.
I know. It's
3 people whose games we were very interested in back to back to back. And now we are sort of left in this very precarious 7.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
So, but let's not fast forward too much.
No, we have some mourning to do.
We do have some mourning to do. So let's fast forward back. Let's set the clock back an hour. Go back to the final 10. Episode 10. So I just have I don't have the usual slate of notes. We're going to do the usual slate of notes on every episode. All of my random musings. We're just going to do a baseline of notes and then some random musings I couldn't help but put in there. So we're in episode 10 and we get this weird relay immunity challenge where you have to go and find the thing and then bring it back, and the last person, it's kind of like OTEV, the Survivor version of OTEV.
Yes.
But they played it with 10 people and it took forever. And everybody looked cold and miserable. Leia ends up winning, which is good. Bailey finds 2 immunity clues, and then Joe, guess what she does? You're never going to believe what she does.
Let me guess. She tells people about them.
I don't know how you figured it out. She tells everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Some things change and then some things never do. And our love for Bailey has not waned.
No, has not wavered.
She's amazing. She's incredible. There also at one point, Andrew is on his bed, throwing a football in the air, and Matthew, who's apparently producing this, just goes, "This is a very Crouch confessional." And I was like, it's like if Andrew was auditioning to play the athletic son in a movie. This was his self tape, from home to be to play I don't even know what the comparison is. What's some Disney Channel original movie where the football guy is whatever.
Ooh.
Is there something there? Is there a Disney Channel original movie where Cooper and Andrew are brothers, and so Andrew's the athletic jock and Cooper's kind of the glasses wearing brainiac, and then they is it a Freaky Friday movie maybe?
This sounds
they
familiar.
switch bodies and they
Why
have to
am I
learn
thinking
about
the Lawrence brothers and something about
Ooh,
this?
Yeah, I mean that would kind of work, but they're both hot. Not to say Cooper and Andrew aren't both hot, but like neither there's not like a brainiac one and then like an athletic one. Like they're both of the Lawrence brothers are just kind of the same.
Well, there was
It's
that third one that had a couple movies.
There's a third Lawrence brother?
Yeah. He was in it was like the Sea Monkeys.
So there's Matthew and Joey. Those are the two main ones
Yeah,
we're
then
talking
there's another
about.
one.
I'm supposed to be the 90s expert
I
here.
know.
I do not know the third Lawrence brother.
Yeah, he like dumps his something into Sea Monkeys and then becomes a twin or something.
This is ringing no bells at all.
Do I have to do a quick Google?
I wish you would.
Okay, let me do it real quick.
I need to know the name of the third Lawrence brother.
It's like, okay, hold on. Lawrence Brothers. Let's get his name first.
Because the one was on Blossom. The other one was on Boy Meets World. The third one is
Andrew. And his name is Andrew.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, now I got to look up this movie real quick. Sorry,
tell me more about Andrew Lawrence. This is what people. We're 6 minutes into this podcast, and it is off the rails.
Yeah, he's 35.
Okay.
Oh, he was. Wait. They were born in Pennsylvania. Near where I used to live. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow, I'm learning a lot today. Okay. Why am I so bad at Googling?
Don't edit this out, Sam.
No, don't.
Don't do it.
This is the whole podcast.
This is what people came for. This is what they waited a month for.
They have missed
this kind of content.
Okay, filmography.
Okay, go.
Oh, he was the voice of the popular show Recess. He was the voice of TJ Detweiler.
What?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Where the heck is this weird movie that I'm thinking?
Worth the price of admission already, really.
I don't know. Some Disney Channel. Oh, wait, here we go. Sorry, y'all. Remember Horse Sense? The Other Me.
The Other Me.
Yes.
No.
He he gets like magical sea monkeys and he spins it around with his comb with his hair in it, and then a second him pops out.
He creates it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there we go.
We have like a body switching comedy with Cooper and Andrew. Maybe we can do like Sam and Adam in the like sort of twins thing. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Well, let's table this and
I'll have a treatment finished by the end of the week. So anyhow, Andrew is throwing this football up in the air. It's a very Crouch confessional. Very funny. This is the episode, by the way, if you remember, where people start turning on Adam. Specifically, Andrew gets mad at Adam in his confessional or in this conversation with Cooper for some reason. And this is the birth of can Adam win Survivor Michigan All-Stars?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a very interesting conversation we're going to have at power ranking time when it comes to Adam. Perfect. So I have thoughts on that. I do have a Cooper quote.
Ooh.
He's talking about this girls' alliance. And he said, Leia told me about the girl. And this is Cooper really, I'm very high on Cooper right now. I think we had talked in our last episode about Cooper having been in a good position. These last 3 episodes were when Cooper really starts to play excellently. Yeah. And really just play, I think, an all-time great stretch of episode, because what he says here is, he says, Leia's told him about the girls' alliance, but Bailey and Emily and Bree haven't. And he says this. He says, things on the DL means that's what people are actually doing. Yeah, and that is very smart. Such a good way to be thinking specifically about College Survivor, where there's all this time and all these conversations happening, and you're talking about everything. Later, I think it'll be later in this episode when Bailey and Sam are having their Survivor Tears montage, when Bailey is talking about like even if you want to take a day off, you can't. You have to constantly be talking to people, and like at one point it's like day 60 or whatever. Yeah. And so I think to future College Survivor players, this would be like one of the College Survivor commandments. Is like if there's a plan somebody's not telling you about, one of your friends or allies isn't telling you about, that is probably the real plan.
Yeah, that's such a great catch.
Yeah, and it will. I think that is really the thing that will probably set up what happens in episode 11 with Emily's boot.
Right. I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives Cooper the ammo to make that flip.
And he's right. I'm a Cooper truther this episode. I've gone from being a Kevin defender to a Cooper truther. This Sam and Megan conversation is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. In that coffee shop or whatever.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen on television.
Yeah.
If I could Men in Black myself and use that little device and just have never watched it. It was like, did you ever see A Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver?
No, I've heard things.
You've seen it now. This is worse than that. It's horrible. It's like watching two people who are right on, like, not even like right on the verge of divorce, but like have both acknowledged that they're going to get a divorce and now just have to file the paperwork.
Oof.
It's horrible. But now I've just spent a minute calling this conversation horrible. It's actually indicative of why I love College Survivor. Is because sometimes you get these raw, real moments, and like they're like, especially Sam is very much clearly just having this raw, real moment on camera, and like it's uncomfortable because you're very much like there's that feeling of like I shouldn't be watching this.
Right. Like this should have been like a private conversation.
Like I very much shouldn't be watching this, and I can't imagine like a shout out to Ian because I cannot imagine like how much of that sort of thing he's had to go through in the last 12 episodes, like especially with these being his real life friends, of being like shouldn't be saying this. Okay, next. But he sacrificed that for us and then gave us a taste of what it was like watching the most awkward conversation in human history. We follow this with this Survivor Tears montage, which is the other thing that I really want to highlight from this episode, which is Sam and Bailey both talking about what it's like to play College Survivor. I don't think we've ever really had this conversation so clearly articulated in an episode of any College Survivor franchise before, of just the emotional toll that this is clearly taking on these people that is totally valid. I mean, we think about like in Maryland All-Stars, like that famous Chris and Holly car confessional. Yeah. But that's a different tone than this. Whereas I think this tone is just the exhaustion, like in the emotional and the mental exhaustion of what these guys are doing. Yeah. And we get the famous like Sam, like this is not the only thing going in my life. I'm on a crew team. I'm trying to lead a small group, which shout out small groups. One time I was the speaker at a church camp while also trying to play an org. Oh. Yeah. Story for a different time. Yeah. That requires a lot more context than that. And Bailey's like, I should be trying to find a job, but I'm not. I'm like lying to my friends instead of trying to find a job. And like, it's this whole episode is a very strange tonal episode. All of these Survivor Michigan episodes are kind of like mini movies. Yeah. Like in the way, and not just like in thematically, but the way Ian is putting them together, like the way they're edited, and they all kind of take on different themes. And like the theme of this episode really is just kind of the exhaustion that is setting in at this point in the game. And it will basically follow all the way to this Sarah boot. Yeah. And obviously we love Sarah. It sucks that Sarah goes out here. There's so much, like Sarah is very correct about like this is the friends game, and everybody who tries to tell her opposite is just like one of my episode 12 notes is like this is just Leia gaslighting people for 12 minutes, like for 2 hours. Yeah, because like it's like this is very clearly like this is the friends game. Now, you can't blame the game because we're talking, I mean, Leia's list, which obviously whatever. Leia's list is 5 people. Yeah. We merged at 12. Right. And that was when all of this came out, was the episode before the Lucy boot, right before the merge, was when all of this Leia's list nonsense happened. So at one point we had 12 people in the game and 5 people on Leia's list. So you can't say, oh, it was, whatever, it was rigged, it was blah, 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 it was set up from the start, because at any point, those people, even at the Kevin boot, at the Nick boot, even really here at the Sarah boot, people could have gotten together and said, we can't let this happen. And they didn't.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point. The flip that happens in the episode after this is like what I was hoping would happen sooner.
Yeah, totally.
And I think we had talked about in a previous episode. Like we were like, one more person between Andrew, Megan, and Sarah will probably go, and then a flip will happen. So we did call it at the right spot. And obviously at 9, it's easier to do that than at an even number. But yeah, it's just tough to watch. It's like, it's just, again, it adds to all the layers of College Survivor, of live games, of online games. Like previous relationships come into play. Like how deep do those run? You know, it is just extra elements of the game that like you don't really see in like the show, because unless it's a returnee season, no one knows each other. So it's just like one of those extra things that you kind of like, you can plan as much as you can, but I don't know if it's those like, you would have to, like you said, everyone else off of Leia's list would have had to have 100% been on the same page. That's just hard to do.
It's just hard to do.
That many
Absolutely. This is where I think we get into kind of the mastery of what Cooper is doing here, is when it comes down to being Andrew or Sarah. And Cooper really manipulates this situation in an incredible way, because so obviously Andrew and Sarah vote for each other. The 3 votes for Andrew, like they obviously split it where the guys vote for Andrew and the girls vote for Sarah. But that means the 3 votes for Andrew were Cooper, Adam, and Sam, meaning Megan, Emily, Leia, Bailey, and Bree all voted for Sarah. Why are Bree, Emily, and Megan voting for Sarah here?
I don't know.
Bailey, I understand, because she and Sarah have had conflict from the beginning, and she has that thing with Andrew. Leia, I understand, because at this point she doesn't want to go against Cooper. What is Bree doing? What is Emily doing? What is Megan doing? Why are they not taking this opportunity to flip 2 votes and at least flush Andrew's idol if he may or may not have it?
Right.
This is really bad on them, but I don't know if it's more bad on them or good on Cooper. If he just has everyone so perfectly placed on the chessboard at that point. Because like Cooper votes for Andrew. That is like the hubris of that, to be so confident that no one's going to flip, but he's right. Yeah. Nobody flips.
Right.
It's incredible.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. I do want to give Sarah her flowers. Sarah played very well.
So good.
Obviously, to come back from a first boot, to not really have the same relationships everyone had, to make it to this place, to play hard, to really prove herself. Like, she does say in her exit, like, I did not have as much fun as I thought I was going to have, which I was kind of like, Like, I hope she has enjoyed the experience. I hope she has enjoyed this experience, like the watching it back, the having people love her, the having people root for her experience. I hope she has really enjoyed that. Yeah. And that she has really gotten her flowers in that way, because she's played great.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were saying it even before. Obviously, we haven't talked since before this. But yeah, I think like having played some games with her, like we know what Sarah can bring to a game. So it's like nice that like if there's people that are only watching Survivor Michigan and don't know any of these people outside of this, like it's great that like they get to see her play the game and do well, go far. And yeah, like she's missed. Like I thought it during this last episode. I was like, because of all the craziness that happened, I was like, no one is being, or maybe like 1 or 2 people. I'm like, no one is being rational. And like what I like about Sarah is like she's not chaotic.
No,
like she can rise above the chaos and make like strategic and smart and level-headed decisions. And I think taking that element out of this game just makes it so crazy. So she's definitely very missed, and I'm glad that people got to see a lot more from her than her first time around.
Definitely, I fully agree, and I'm sorry if we've raised her target level in any future live game she plays. Sorry, we didn't mean to do that. We just call him like we see him, and Sarah is great.
Yeah.
So we move on to episode 11. We're at the final 9 here. We open this episode with a great Megan rant where she's just basically like, I hate Bailey. I hate Adam. I hate all these people. And I hate that production ruined my game.
I know.
And we get, I think, the third iteration of there's no way they're ever going to use this in the show. But
right.
And then it's gotten, I think 3 times now it's gotten used, which is, it's just perfect chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like, to this very crazy thing that happened, to just be like, to just let Megan and Jackson complain about it on camera and put it in the show and be like, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
She is amazing. Adam says that voting out Sarah may have cost him and Sam the game. And I am here to say, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that is very potentially correct. Yeah. So, unfortunately, a good read by Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Also, these girls never talk to Megan.
I know. I don't like that.
And this episode is where it comes back to bite them. Of at the final 10, it's 6 females, 4 males. There is a girls' alliance with 4 of these people in there. How do they fumble this bag so hard?
Yeah. I think it just comes down to the trust thing, which again, people didn't trust Megan as much because of her secret relationship with Jackson. So it sucks that she has that veil over her, but I mean, come on, that storyline was months ago.
It was months ago.
Move on from it and pick Megan up as an ally. Now, would she have just outed the girls' alliance?
Maybe.
Probably, maybe, but yeah, I wish there was some more. Megan was just so underutilized.
Yes.
As a player.
Or again, at final 10, vote Andrew out.
Yeah.
Go to the final 9 with 6 female identities, even if they're not in your girls' alliance, whatever.
Right.
The more, the merrier. And it will absolutely come back to bite her. And in one of the next scenes, Leia says, this vote is going to come down to, does Cooper have the social capital to save Andrew? And the answer is yes, he does. Right. But it's not going to be at Megan's expense. It's going to be at Emily's expense, which, oh my gosh. So good.
The flip of all flips.
It's so good. I'm so excited to talk about this. But at one point they're filming a confessional and they're talking about how there probably is going to be tribal right after the challenge because of all these scheduling issues. And at one point they're talking about it and Andrew just goes, Matthew's not a very laid back dude. And I'm like, understatement of the century. At one point, Sam is talking about how Leia is telling him, you are my Mitch. And the whole time I'm just thinking, where's my Mitch?
Same.
Leia's had 2 so far. That's not fair.
Right.
I just need 1.
Share the wealth, Leia.
Share the wealth, Leia. What the hell? But I think it also is, this is where everything starts to swing. And it's going to set up what may or may not happen here in the next episode at Final 7 between Cooper and Leia, where Leia is more in on Sam than she is on Cooper.
Yes. Which is very interesting.
It's very interesting because I think there was a time when it was Leia and Cooper against the world. At least from Leia's perspective. I'm not saying from Cooper's perspective. From Leia's perspective, I think, that was a little burp on camera. Excuse me. Where I think it was Leia was ready to go to the end with Cooper no matter what, lose to Cooper, whatever. I think this, even before the flip, is where that ends. But then Cooper baits Sam in this conversation so brilliantly with just these little tidbits of information like, Leia told you she wants to flip on me, but she told me I'm in her final 3. Did she tell you that, Sam? Did she tell you you're in her final 3? And Sam said, well, no. And Cooper's totally lying. Leia never said that to him. But she's like, oh, that's really interesting. He never told you about that? Crazy. And then Sam's like, Leia never told you she broke into your room and read your idol clue. And then Cooper is off to the races. He is so, and it's so good because Cooper is just like very gently pulling this information out of Sam. And as soon as he gets, because he's like, oh, did you know about this girls' alliance? Did Leia not tell you about that? That's so weird that she wouldn't tell you about this. Cooper, I don't have enough good things to say about Cooper at this point. I really don't.
He's doing so well.
So good. Sam, who I also think is doing well. Sam might be the only person, because, you know, a lot of times, like in Survivor, people come back and they're like, I was so like emotional on my first season and I'm coming back this time and it's all business. Sam is the opposite. Sam was all business the first time, and this time he came back and he's just a soft-hearted little boy.
Yeah.
And I love it about him. I don't think I've ever seen anybody on an All-Star season come back and be like, last time it was all business. This time it's emotional and I'm making friends and I'm hanging out with people. It's like, okay, Sam, like, I see you. I see you. I like it.
Yeah,
I like emotional Survivor. Like I do.
Yeah.
And I think it served Sam better. This is by far the better version of Sam than we saw in season 2.
Yeah.
So like lean in.
Right.
I'm all about this. This challenge montage is all me. This is what this is art. This challenge montage where they're throwing the ball into the bucket and we're seeing all the flashbacks to everything that's happened over the past 60 days. And there's some song that's probably some anime reference I don't get playing in the background. Like, and it's just like, it's so intense and the music is swelling and they're eliminating each other. And at one point, Megan eliminates Bailey and Bailey's like, is this because my boyfriend's on production? And it's like, whoa, season 2, Bailey, where did you come from? And I also love Bailey defending her boyfriend. Like Megan just thinks he's telling me everything. Like, okay, like I don't believe he's telling you everything, Bailey, but you have to understand why she's skeptical.
Right.
You can't
he's
be like
telling Abby everything.
It's so unreasonable that people would think that Noah is saying things about the game.
Right.
How unreasonable. It's like, well, like I'm on your side here, Bailey. Like we're the Bailey Reagan guys, but come on, Bailey.
Right.
Also, Sarah missing the one round where Tribal Council is played at LRG speed is such a bummer.
I know.
She would be so good at this. Half hour until Tribal Council. This is her bread and butter.
I know.
This is what she was raised on. Damn it. But even without Sarah, we get this incredible flip. And it's time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect timing for Cooper. I don't know if it's the perfect timing for everybody. It was the perfect timing for Cooper. Yeah. It really is the perfect timing for all these people because no matter what any of them say, if these 4 women had gotten to the final 4, they're at least going to run at 1 or 2 votes. Like it's at least going to be the death of Adam and Andrew for sure. I don't know what happens at final 6, but it's hard to imagine Adam and Andrew don't go 8 and 7.
Right. And I think they even talked about, somebody was talking about cutting Adam at 8 or something.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was talking about it. And then Bailey gets really mad when Adam says, you guys were going to cut me. Yeah, we're going to get to that in the next episode. Bailey's reaction to Adam is hilarious and quintessentially Bailey. So we lose Emily B here. I'm sorry to lose Emily B. I don't think she got the credit she deserved in game.
Yeah.
Because I think she was in a very interesting spot. So say either they pull Megan in and they 5-4 this against one of the boys, or they end up staying loyal to the 7 and Megan goes, or Andrew goes. I think Emily is in a good position.
And she had talked about potentially turning on Bailey at some point. Like she mentioned that multiple times. So she was at least willing to do that. So yeah, it would have been very interesting to see what her plans were going to be had it gotten down to that.
I think Emily B, Leia, and Bree in a final 3 is a really interesting combo. I think any combination with Emily B, Megan, and Bree is a very good spot for her.
Yeah.
I think there were options for her if she could have made it out of this vote alive.
Yeah.
Which is why she can't make it out of this vote alive. And why this flip is, I mean, it's just perfectly timed.
Yeah.
So she also gets to play this life after death vote or whatever, this zombie vote or whatever.
Yeah.
And it leads to this hilarious scene where she's like, I don't know who to vote for. Like, I don't know what to do. And she hears from the hallway Leia call Cooper something I am not going to repeat on this podcast. Love you, Cooper. I would never say those things about you.
Yeah.
And then Emily's just like, I'm voting for Cooper.
So good.
It is like sitcom timing.
Yeah,
Like, it's like if you
yeah.
scripted that whole scene where she's like, I don't know what to do. And Leia's just screaming about Cooper. She goes, I'm voting for Cooper. So good.
So good.
And we start episode 12. This is what we came for. Like, that's just what my note says. Is like, this is what we signed up for. When we signed up for All Stars, we signed up for a blow up. And this is what happened. And Leia, this is the Leia I wanted to see. Where it's the same thing she's been doing, but in confessional, and to other people, she's like, yeah, okay, like, I wasn't as mad as I thought I was going to be. Or like, yeah, I'm manipulating this. Thank you. This is what I wanted her to be saying this whole time, is that, like, no, I'm playing the game. Like, I'm manipulating Cooper. Like, I'm manipulating Sam. I'm, like, puppet mastering the situation. Like, yes, this is what I needed you to be doing all along. And it's hilarious. This episode is 2 hours of Leia gaslighting her friends, and I'm here for it. It's funny, and I'm finally totally back on board the Leia train. At one point at Tribal Council, Leia's like, it's ridiculous that people are saying that I'm just playing this game with my friends. All of Leia's list is at the final 7 of this game. Leia's entire friend group is here at the final 7. Like, if she had her way, her entire friend group and Emily B would be in this final 7.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it is, I mean, I understand how Megan would be so frustrated to be having this conversation. Like if I was in Megan's shoes, I would be apoplectic. Like, how she doesn't light something on fire at any point this season is insane, and credit to her patience.
Yeah.
But it's also hilarious to me, because I'm like, this episode is literally just Leia gaslighting people for 2 hours. Oh my God. Cooper trying not to, like, push Leia over the edge in this meeting, but you know he wants to. Like, you know he wants to do the Cooper smirk so bad. And I'm like, I think she would have shot him. Like, I think Jesse's fear about Leia would have come true.
Oh my God.
And she would have at least pistol whipped him, which would have been great TV. It's so good. Sam, on the other hand,
I know.
I'm sorry. Bailey goes, you're not sorry. You're sorry you wouldn't have done it. I'm sorry for betraying your trust. Eeyore Sam is killing me here. I'm crying, laughing. It's so funny to me. But this Cooper and Leia conversation, where they're getting into it, and Leia, I tell you everything. Because Cooper's like, we've been lying to each other. She's like, I tell you everything. And Cooper goes, oh, really?
I know.
And totally flips it on her.
I know. It was...
You couldn't script this better. You couldn't script the first 20 minutes of this episode better. Like you genuinely couldn't. It's perfect television. Because he's like, all of that. Well, and then there's this crazy. So he's like, so you broke into my room and saw my idol clue? Oh, so you didn't tell me Sam gave you his immunity? And she's just whatever. And then at one point, there's this really crazy out of context quote where they talk about Leia breaking into Cooper's room, and Leia goes, did Sam tell you, or did a producer tell you? And I'm like, whoa, Leia. Leia was ready to go full Jackson in that moment.
Right.
Like, she was just looking for any thread to claw at in that moment. And then she gets mad at Sam, and she's like, I was supposed to have the moral high ground and yelling at Cooper because you weren't supposed to tell him I was also lying to him. And she's so mad she doesn't get to moralize in this moment that she finally has to flip and go dark side Leia and be like, yes, I am also the reason Survivor is a bad game and should be abolished on campus. Like, thank you. Bailey is mad at Adam. Why?
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Bailey taking her anger out on Adam is It's so funny because it's so it's so transparently misplaced
Yes.
that she can't yell at Andrew, she can't yell at Sam, and she can't yell at Cooper, so she's just choosing
Right.
Adam.
Right.
Like Bailey, you wanted Adam out. You would have voted Adam out this week. You would have voted out in final
hypocrisy.
8.
The
You would vote him out at
hypocrisy of it
any
all.
point here. But
I know. It was funny. You're never gonna win. I'm not voting for you.
You're never gonna win this game.
I think
I would never vote for you.
I know. The one scene where it was like Cooper, Adam, and Sam just like sitting up on the thing or whatever, as like everyone's yelling at them, and they're all just like, "Oh my gosh!"
And then is it Kevin and Lucy on the jury, or I'm trying to think of who?
Yes, I think it was just the two of them there.
Just like, and Kevin
back.
is.
I know.
Kevin is getting his life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! It's. This is, like I said, this is what we came for. Is this
people moment pulling each other into rooms and
at one point Bree pulls Sam into the room but doesn't really have anything to say. Like, so that's when she just makes up the thing about Cooper having 2 idols, because she gets Sam alone and then realizes she doesn't really have anything to say. She's like, Cooper has 2 idols. It's like, he probably doesn't. Like,
no, I think she was saying Adam.
Yeah, that's right. Adam,
because
has
then
2
later
idols.
He was like, "Why did you say that I have 2 idols?" She was just like,
"That's right.
I was just mad at you."
It's so funny. Bree is very funny in this episode. Bree saying the only men she can trust are Big Time Rush and BTS, and I'm like, I don't know anything about BTS, but definitely
and Bruno Mars.
Big Time. Oh, and Bruno Mars. I knew there was a third one. That's true. I would trust.
That's a good group.
That's a good alliance. Honestly.
Yeah.
Except those BTS guys are never going to vote each other out. And there's like 30 of them, because it's not like a boy band. Like we think of like American boy bands where it's like 4 or 5 guys. There's like a ton of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pull in Big Time Rush. You're gonna have to pull in One Direction. You're gonna have to pull in Bruno Mars. You're gonna have to get all of these guys together to vote those guys out.
And the Lawrence brothers.
And all 3. There's a bonus one. There you go. So you can still do it, Bree. Mopey Sam also wins this episode because he just he's doing this thing where he's mopey and he's sad and everybody's like, "Okay, Sam, I forgive you."
I know. He's so good at that.
He's so good.
There's got to be a montage at the end of the season with just his head in his hands, because I think it's happened almost every episode at this point.
It's just classic Sam at this point, and it's so good.
It is good.
He's so good.
I think because it's genuine. I mean, not to say that other people's reaction or not reactions,
their emotions.
Other people's emotions aren't, but it's like it is so genuine from him.
So genuine.
It's like it's easy to be like, okay, he does actually feel bad for this. Where Cooper's standing there trying to hold in a smirk.
Yeah, and I think that like to clarify, I think Sam and Cooper are probably both really good people, like in real life. Yeah. Like it's not a matter of that. It's that I think Cooper thrives on this part of the game.
Yes.
Whereas Sam is willing to do it to get to the end. But I don't think Sam takes the pleasure in it that Cooper does.
Correct. That's a good assessment.
Like I think when they go back to their rooms at the end of the night, I think Sam is like, okay, it's done. And I think Cooper is like, yes, we did it. And I think that's the big difference between those two guys.
Yeah.
Good point. Family visit week.
Oh, I almost forgot.
I love all these people.
So good. It was nice to have that such high emotion of the first 20 minutes. And then it was like, okay, we can chill for some time and everybody get some love. So
and you know what?
Good.
Brady was shitting on it, but Brady is wrong.
Yeah.
#, Brady is wrong. This was nice. And I was
so good.
And it was a genuinely fun moment.
Yeah.
So we can make fun of it as much as we want. It was very nice.
It was very nice. I really enjoyed it.
We got to see so many of our favorites.
Yes.
We got to
go down the list.
Please. I don't have a list written down.
Oh, let's see if we can remember. So we had Nate, the puzzler. This was his second. So we got a preview of him early on in the season. So that was a little Easter egg that he was coming back.
Why is Nate not here?
I know. Did we need to find that out? Is our intern still around, or did
where is our intern? having Nate on screen for 30 seconds, I was like, why? Why is Nate
know.
not in every season of Survivor Michigan?
Right.
Why is Nate not on this podcast right now? I don't know. We fumbled the bag too.
Yeah, we did.
And then 30 seconds later, I had the exact same thought again. Why is Camila not here?
Camila. I miss her.
I'm obsessed with her.
There's like not a lot of college Survivor people that I could say that for.
I agree.
Like, I genuinely miss her in the game.
Yes.
Like, if she doesn't come back in a future season, that will be
what
a
are we
travesty
doing?
Of
what are we doing here? Absolutely. We must have Camila back. It's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
We also get like a combination of like friends and like Andrew's girlfriend is here and that happens. And also, I also don't want to roll past the fact that Jack is in this episode also.
Yeah, we did get a Jack.
So good to see
cameo.
Jack. I love him. Another person I wish was here.
Yeah.
Is Jack on Leia's list? Do we know this?
Ooh.
Or is that just like a Sam thing? Does Leia love keep your torch lit, or is it just Sam?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know either. But
Does she have enough room on her list for more people? She's already got half the cast.
I think Leia's has infinite room on her. I think that's the whole point of Leia's list is it's as many people as she can use to manipulate the game.
Right.
There's always.
How do we get on Leia's list? That's what I want to know.
Are we on?
Someone
after the
needs
last
to tell
couple
us.
weeks podcast, I'm starting to feel maybe we're not on Leia's list.
Yes, maybe. Okay. Well, let's get our intern to find that out.
Can we send someone to, I don't know where, I was going to say send someone to Ann Arbor, but then I remembered this was filmed like 4 years ago. So everyone is not still on campus waiting with bated breath to hear our podcast. But yeah, I would like to know if we are, whose lists are we on? I feel good to say we're on Bailey's list.
Yes. Hi, Bailey.
I feel good to say we're on Adam's list.
Yes.
We damn well better be on Sam's list.
Yeah.
You heard us, Sam.
He's also our boss, one of our 3 bosses, so we better be on his list.
We better be on his list. Maybe that's a like power ranking whose lists we are on and whose list we want to be on is a future podcast.
Yeah, there we go. Let's table that.
We'll table that. Andrew finally wins an immunity challenge, and it's only because his girlfriend is sick at egg toss.
Right. I was gonna say we love a female challenge beast. So glad that he got a win, but I mean, it was really.
Why is Andrew's girlfriend not here? Why is she not on All Stars?
Yeah,
at least somebody knows how to win individual immunity challenges.
Exactly.
Yeah,
let's get her on the next season.
Let's. We are prime for Blood versus Water. But I'm only doing it if Brittany and her Nana will do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, cancel the season.
Yes.
I'm only doing it if Brittany and Nana are here. Mitch and his mom definitely are like high on the list of people I want to recruit, but Brittany and Nana are number one. Sarah, Z, and her brother. Definitely, if you remember this correctly, I'm like going through the Rolodex of Survivor Michigan family members in my mind. There are people there. I think we definitely have at least the ability to like flow. Obviously, Dale and Ann are the real number 1 draft picks here.
Oh, Paul, you're freezing.
Oh no, am I back?
Okay, now you're back. I was nervous that you were about to leave the screen again.
No, I was literally just talking about Dale and Ann, and I probably got too excited because I was like, because they have to be here. Brian and Sarah, obviously. Yeah, so we already have. So let's see. We have Brittany and Nana, Mitch and his mom, Brian and Sarah, Dale and Ann. Now we have Andrew and his girlfriend. Did we get a name on Andrew's girlfriend? I feel like we did, and we're not remembering it.
I know. I'm sorry.
I feel bad about
Andrew's
that.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. Honestly, Bailey and Noah.
I mean, you kind of have to.
You kind of at this point, but Abby and Noah maybe, perhaps.
Right?
I don't know. Bailey and Noah. So we have 6 at least already ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Maybe we get that next season.
I'm just saying. Put it on the list of future concepts we're gonna flesh out and do someday in a weekend game.
Perfect.
Okay. And then we do have to discuss the real guest star of this episode. I know Joe knows what I'm talking about already.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. The most significant guest star of this episode that I texted you about unsure whether I was even going to bring it up on the episode until it became a plot point. Yes.
Yes, now I remember who you're talking about. Brady also brought his loved one.
What the hell, man?
First of all,
I'll let you go.
I know we're older.
Yes.
And I know this was 5 years? Almost 5 years ago?
Yeah. No, 2019. So I
19,
fall 2019.
Yes. Okay, so 4 years ago. Are hickeys a thing? Like, I feel like that was such a high school thing, and I was in high school long before these people were.
Sure.
So that was my first thought. I thought it was like a dirt. I was going to go up to my TV screen and start wiping it. I'm like, what is going on with this? And then once I realized what it was, I was just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm out of the loop, but that was my first thought. Like, is that still happening?
I'm not frozen.
Yeah, don't leave me. Don't leave me on this topic.
I just don't know that I have a proper reaction to this. What in the world? And it's also like it's Michigan in the late fall. Just wear a damn turtleneck. That's what the rest of us do.
Well, Brady barely ever had a shirt on during his season, so
and we never complained.
We didn't, but I don't think he owns a turtleneck. At least back then.
Probably not.
That was a choice.
Choices
were made.
Thank
you to the camera person. Thank you or not thank you, I don't know, for getting the good angle.
When they were talking about whether or not they were the hickey side or the non-hickey side, because at first, like when I was watching this, I was texting Joe. I was like, are we gonna like? I was like, I don't know that I want to bring this up because like sometimes on the podcast, I feel like I'm the guy who's like always bringing like the let's talk about the hot men content. So sometimes I'm like, should I be talking about this? Should I not? And I'm like, what are we? And then they brought it up as a plot point on the episode, and I'm like, oh, thank God, we have license to talk about this because I was like,
it's gonna get mentioned one way or another.
Will Brady still have that hickey at Final Tribal Council?
Oh, the same one. How long do they?
I don't know. I don't know.
So out of my element.
I wasn't hooking up in high school.
No, me neither.
I was watching Survivor when it was not cool. Like I was on Survivor.
I wasn't even telling anybody that I was watching it.
I was talking about Survivor Palau. Why wasn't I was not out hooking up with hot tan Survivor hosts of any kind. So I don't know. But it was so big.
I thought it was a shadow at first of something. I don't know.
This is reality TV, people. This is reality TV. It was dead center in the episode. It was framed like it was middle third.
It got a chyron. It got its own it had its own confessional, basically.
Yes, besides Brian, it's the second biggest guest star of the season.
Right? What the heck?
Oh my gosh.
That was even before the 5-day break that they took, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess now Brady's going to be on Blood versus Water 2 with somebody. We don't know, but
another hickey.
He must have. Yeah, the hickey could be on the other tribe.
That's his loved one.
Yeah.
Oh, Brady.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
This is. So basically, this episode.
Where do we even start?
Does Megan Bailey herself in this episode?
Yes.
And get herself voted out?
Yeah. Look, we love Megan.
Love Megan.
I am so unhappy that she's not in the game anymore.
Me too.
But I do think her spilling the beans to Cooper was not the correct move.
This game only has room for one Bailey.
I know.
Only one Bailey can Bailey this game and still survive as many weeks as she has.
Right. I think of what I loved about it too. It was like two different groups of people were trying to blindside Cooper
Mhm.
without the other group knowing. And in like, I was just trying to like think ahead a little bit, and I'm just like, I hope this happens. Like, how funny would it be that both sides try to blindside Cooper without telling each other? And then like, I was really wanting like Cooper to go home like 6-1 or like something, like just and I just want like the reactions, I think would have been just so funny.
If Cooper had gone out in 7th place in a really wacky, convoluted vote again,
Yeah.
it would have been one of the craziest bookends in Survivor history.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted it to happen just because it was just so great. And Leia and Andrew were both willing to cut him. I think that was also what was so fascinating about it. And I know you called it out before, where Leia was kind of, the wheels were already kind of in motion for Leia for this to happen, but it was like the both of them, Cooper and Bailey, right? Was Bailey in on this plan?
I don't think Bailey was Bailey ever in. Yeah, she was, because at one point it was gonna be 6-1.
Right.
And then everybody was worried about, okay, so who's the other person we're throwing votes on?
And they needed to get
that's
like
when everything melted down.
Yes. So all of Cooper's closest allies were willing to write his name down. So it's like it's his trajectory in this trajectory.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sorry. Has been crazy, this game. And like, to go from like being so protected, being able to do this flip, recovering from the flip, but then not having basically the entire game against you. And then, I don't know. It was crazy.
This is the second time Cooper should have been gone.
Yeah. Is he the magician now? Is there like what's another word that we can give him?
Whatever word it is, it's not
sorcerer. Is he a sorcerer?
He's a sorcerer. He's incredible, because he has been putting in the work for these weeks with these non-Leia's list people, with Megan, with Andrew, with Emily B, even with Sarah, like, to put in the work with these people where, like you said, all of his allies know about this plan. Everybody knows, but all he needs is one person to come to him and blow it up.
Yeah.
It could have just easily been Andrew as it was Megan. It could have just as easily been Leia as it was Megan. It could have easily been Bailey as it was Megan. Bree, any of these people.
No.
And so, like, it just happened to be Megan, and Megan just happened to be the person they could flip.
Everybody, yeah. I think Andrew should have still given her immunity.
Andrew, I think, makes a huge mistake this week. And we've been hearing for weeks about cocky Andrew and how arrogant Andrew. We even get a cocky Andrew Chiron at one point.
Yeah.
And we have been saying, I don't see it. I don't really buy it. This is the week where that pays off.
Yeah.
I think Andrew gives up a final 3 scenario where he wins. And not just wins, but maybe wins pretty decisively.
Yeah.
Because there's all this talk about Andrew, Megan, and Adam. This is the final 3.
Yeah. I agree.
Andrew should be saying to himself, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're doing. And not just the fact that it's not Cooper that goes home here, but the fact that he gives Cooper the idol.
I know. I hated that. I didn't like it.
It's really bad, because the thing is, when Cooper saves Andrew, it feels like Cooper is dragging Andrew along. When Andrew saves Cooper, it feels like Andrew is misted to the fact that he's not beating Cooper in a final.
Right.
And my question is then, you are so severely closing the door on your finals options that you are good in. Unless Andrew really strongly believes he's beating Bailey in a final, which maybe now he's saying it's Bailey and Adam is his final. Why Bailey and Bree? Can he really be thinking I'm going to the end with Cooper and Bailey?
I don't think so. I think this was like a short-term plan. He was ready to vote him out this round.
I understand, but at some point you run out of options. You have to sit next to presumably 2 people in a final.
Right. Yeah, I didn't like this move for Matthew.
For Andrew, yes.
Or for Andrew, sorry.
Yes. We're having season 4 flashbacks.
Wait, what? Wait, why do I have Matthew written down?
I don't know, but I love it. I miss him.
Wait.
I wish you. Where's Matthew? Why is he not on this season?
Why is he on my power rankings?
We love him.
Oh, maybe. Oh, hopefully everybody has seen Survivor. Maybe I had Matthew in my mind because of Survivor. Wait, who? Okay, sorry. I'm so thrown off by that.
My point that I was trying to make is at some point, especially with Andrew now, Andrew and Adam are the end of Leia's list. Like they're the last 2 people not on Leia's list. Why are they giving up Megan here?
I know. So dumb.
This is so bad. It's really, really, really bad.
Yeah. I think Megan, Cooper, and Andrew should have come up with an alternate plan, included Megan in on it, and they would have only needed one other person.
And presumably it seemed like if they would have gone, is Cooper ready to pull that trigger on Leia right now? I don't think he should have. No. I think what happens for Cooper this week is the absolute best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
this very much helps him. It doesn't help Andrew.
When you get to this part of the end game, there are 2 types of players. There are players who just need to make it to the final 3. And then que sera, whatever happens, win or lose, that's all you need to do. And then there are players who have to sit in specific final 3s.
Yeah.
And I think this cast is divided in half that way. Because I think you have and we'll get, I guess I'm spoiling power rankings if I go into that more specifically.
Don't coerce me.
Let's get to the Megan boot first.
Yeah.
But before we do, Cooper as the happy hostage is so funny. He's like, they're literally like holding me hostage. And then he just leaves. And then he comes back to be the hostage again. And while he's gone, they're like, should we vote out Cooper? I don't know. Maybe we should be voting out Cooper. And then he comes back. And then they just don't vote out Cooper.
I know.
How is Cooper being held hostage, escaping to go make another plan with Adam, and then going back to being held hostage? And nobody is like, we have to vote him. Neither Adam nor the hostage holders are at any point like, we should just jettison Cooper from the game.
I know.
But they can't because Andrew gives them immunity.
I know.
Oh, Andrew.
Not great.
It's not great, dude.
No.
Yeah. And we lose Megan here. And then Leia gaslights Megan one final time. She's like, it's not just my friend. I'm just playing with my friends. And it's like, this is where I go back to being frustrated with Leia, because it's like, don't do this in front of the jury, Leia.
Yeah.
Like, this is the opposite of what this jury wants to hear.
Yeah.
This jury wants to hear you be like, yeah, I played with all my friends and I successfully brought my friends to the end. Because I led this group. They don't want to hear, it just happened this way. I don't know how my list of people that I wouldn't vote out at the final 13 are still here at the final 7. It must just be magic that it happened. Like, don't do that. Like, it's stupid. And B, it doesn't, you should be taking credit for this. You should be saying, I got all my friends here. I held Cooper, Sam, and Bailey have been trying, like she says at one point, not to the jury, but to Cooper. Cooper, Sam, and Bailey have been trying to vote each other out for a month now. Mm-hmm. And I'm the reason it hasn't happened. That's what she should be saying in front of the jury.
Yeah.
I'm the glue holding this game together, because she is.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I'm skipping ahead again.
No, it's okay.
Megan goes home. It's tragic. We hate losing her.
I know. It was horrible.
She outkicked her coverage, though. Like, Megan should have been gone months ago.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, from everything that happened so long ago for her, she sort of like, it was like an up and down thing. It was like she was like front and center, or no, she was kind of like in the background. The whole Jackson thing happened, and then she sort of like slipped back, which was like great. Just coast for a bit, like make some moves later on. But yeah, I think her telling Cooper wasn't great.
I mean, it's the thing that got her voted out.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, which sucks.
I know.
There can only be one Bailey. And this is probably the thing that should have happened to Bailey like 9 times by now, but
Right.
won't because she's Bailey and she's incredible. But no, like you said, Megan from episode 1 Megan could have first booted this season.
Yeah.
And instead, she's in the back. She's the swing vote. Then she gets outed by production. Then she fades in the background again. Then there's fake Idolgate. Then she fades in the background. Then Jackson votes himself out. And she's in and out and in and out. And then there's Leia's list. And she's not on Leia's list. And then she's she's in with this Andrew and Sarah thing. And then she's back in the background. And then she and Andrew are back on top because they get the Emily B flip. And then she eventually, I mean, it's such a chaotic and dynamic game that she's played. But she 8th place. It's kind of both. Like, she could have easily been the first boot this season. She could have easily won this season.
Yeah.
It just happened to finish where she was.
Right.
Megan is somebody I would like to see play over and over again.
Same. I hope she has recovered from the season. And
me too.
Would love to see her do like a live game or something. This can't be the last that we see of her.
No, because she's so clever and she's so good. And she's one of these players. One of the things I like about College Survivor, like just as a viewer, is that you get to see Survivor played in so many different ways. So a lot of times on CBS Survivor, like, people tend to just fall in or at least get edited into these archetypes and these character types. And you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen this before, blah, blah, blah. This feels like that. College Survivor doesn't tend to do that. We tend to get very different takes on the game, riskier takes on the game, more interesting plays. And Megan, through 2 seasons, is one of those people that I feel like has brought a very different energy to Survivor.
Yeah.
Both like in season 4 with the nonstop smiling and all of that. And then here with the kind of heel turn Megan of like, is she good Megan? Is she bad Megan? She's, she was the smiling girl in season 4, and now she's dating the villain of all villains in season 5. And she's just somebody who I feel like every time she comes to play, she brings something interesting to the table. She's going to try stuff. She's going to do stuff. So I would watch Megan play Survivor 10 times.
Yeah, me too.
And there's not a lot of people I say that about.
Right.
Megan and Camilla, like in a best friend season or in an ally season, like would be like,
that'd be so good.
Like I would subscribe. Like I would like put my money down. Like, let's do it. I love it. So huge shout out to Megan. I hope we love her. I hope she has been able to appreciate this experience in like the rewatch, even though I'm sure there were parts that were very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, we love her. The viewers love her. The fans love her. Like, she is a huge fan favorite.
Yes.
In the community. So I hope that is a good takeaway from her. And come play a live game, Megan. Come play a weekend game. No one will spoil anything. I promise no one will spoil anything. Come play a live game. Come hang out.
Yes.
It would be a blast.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's boot message from us comes with like a come apply for a live game. And we don't really have a live game to tell people to apply for right now.
I know. We gotta get a move on that.
What the hell are we doing wrong here?
I don't know. Or just any live game, and
apply for any live game.
We'll come help out at that game, or we will watch and root you on.
Yes, absolutely.
So
one way or another.
Built-in fans. I did not get to listen to her exit interview, but I want to know what happened with her and Jackson. I mean, obviously it's been years.
I've not listened to the exit interview.
Where are they now?
I want to know.
I want to know.
I want
question mark. I want to know.
I want to know. So now it is time for us to live up to our names and do some power rankings.
Oh man,
this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
This final 7 is a very weird group. A very, like I said earlier, I think there are some tiers here. That exist. But let's start at the bottom. Who do you have for number 7?
So I did just put a list together right now.
I
have Bree.
I do too.
But I want to say, I think she's like playing more. I feel like these last couple episodes, like we're seeing more of her. We're seeing more like emotion from her, and like, what was the thing that she did? Like, she's able to be like, okay, like I understand like the moves that people are making, and like she's kind of like recovering from that and being like,
Yeah.
okay, I still need to play, I still need to work with these people. So I like her take on the things that have happened and like how she wants to move forward. Just unfortunately right now, if we're looking at it like based on like resume, I don't know if I see a lot from her yet. There's still moves to be made. There's still things
Yes.
that she can do. There's still a path to the end for Brie. It's just I feel like with who's all left, I think we've just like seen more from the rest of the cast that's left, unfortunately.
Yes.
So that's why I had to reluctantly and painfully put her last at this point.
Yeah. I don't think Brie has played a bad game.
No.
I think her social game, even though people are saying like, "Where's Brie? Why isn't Brie calling? Why isn't Brie?" She's still in on most of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like she's not like totally out of the loop. She's not totally detached. Like she's got relationships with people. She's in meetings. She's in these meetings with the seven. She's doing this. Part of this has to do with jury breakdown at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to get 4 or 5 votes to win Survivor?
Right.
I don't think those votes are there for Brie.
Yeah.
Barring some incredibly flashy end game that I don't know there even is that exists, I don't think she can get there.
Mm-hmm.
But she has played a good game.
Yeah.
And there maybe are seasons where she is in a viable place.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage. This just isn't the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So number 6.
I put Andrew.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I bumped him down a lot.
Okay. Why Andrew in 6?
I think I'm just mad.
Okay. Same.
I mean, I forgot him completely. I wrote down Matthew.
Yes. You were ready to power rank Matthew.
I know. He could probably be up in like 5 or 4. I don't think he's like completely ruined his game, but I think like we were saying, and you said, like, I think this Megan round was just not played correctly. Like he was willing to take out Cooper at this point. Would that have been too early for him? I don't know. I mean, who's to say? We won't know. But I think, he was sort of like building up this relationship with Adam. He was building up this relationship with Megan. I think that would have been his path. And I think if he would have tried to stick with that, plus his connection with Cooper, well, I guess I was saying that he was supposed to vote him out. But even if they had not, even if Megan had gone to Cooper, Cooper went to Andrew, and the 3 of them are like, let's come up with a different name. As long as it wasn't Adam, I think that would have helped Andrew. Mm-hmm. And I think I would have him way up my list because we would know, like, okay, Andrew is willing to cut Cooper at some point. Like, it may be, in this scenario where Megan doesn't go home and Cooper doesn't get the immunity, but he stays, we know, okay, Andrew's willing to make that move at some point. It's only, that's at 8. We're only at 7 now. Like, he has other options to do that. But I think I'm just disappointed in this week from Andrew, unfortunately.
I agree, especially because I think Andrew doesn't just need to cut Cooper. He needs to be the guy to do it.
Right.
And this was his opportunity. He actually had the most perfect opportunity to not give Cooper immunity, to give it to Megan instead and say, this is me sacrificing Cooper.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I'm either going to give it to Cooper or Megan. I'm choosing to give it to Megan and vote Cooper off. Mm-hmm. Could have been the very big flashy in front of the jury. I am cutting Cooper.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if he did that, he would be at least at number 2 in my power rankings. Maybe.
Yeah.
I still have him at number 4 though.
Okay, that's fair. I've just bumped him down because of disappointment.
Mostly because I think there are still a lot of moves for him to make.
Yeah.
And I think opportunities and things for him to do. And I think there are final 3 scenarios where he is good in.
Mm-hmm.
So at number 6, unfortunately, I have Adam.
Okay. Oh, wait, we're still in... Okay. I had Leia next.
Okay. Well, hold on. Where did you have Adam?
Oh, sorry. Adam, I had at number 4.
Okay. So you had Adam at 4. So basically we just swapped our Adam and Andrews then.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't
I
ready to
love
put
Adam.
Adam that low.
Adam, fan
Too.
favorite of the season.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Adam, I'm on Adam's list. Adam's on my list. We're mutually on lists together. I love Adam. Adam is the fan favorite.
Yeah.
He's the comeback kid. I don't have enough good things to say about Adam. Unfortunately, I'm not on the jury. And I know Bailey says things emotionally.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's indicative of a real feeling people have about Adam that we're hearing from Bailey, we're hearing from Andrew, we're hearing from people that Adam just isn't enough out of Sam's shadow. He just doesn't have the things on his resume that we're seeing,
Yeah,
or that we're liking to win here. And I don't know that there's a combination of a final three at this point he can win at with this jury. And it breaks my heart because I love him. He's incredible. I like on a personal level, on an emotional level, on a strategic level, on a game level. I love everything Adam is doing.
Yeah.
I just don't think he can win here.
That's sad. I'm
I know,
not ready.
it sucks.
I'm not ready to agree.
Nothing would make me happier than being wrong about this.
Yeah.
Nothing in the world would make me happier. I just don't think I am.
Yeah. I mean, he would have to take out a lot of heavy hitters, including Sam. And
if Adam can somehow lead the charge against Sam, against Cooper, against either Bailey or Sam, Cooper, Bailey, take them out kind of in some crazy scenario and end up in a final three where he can say, I did this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But also maybe not.
Yeah.
So you, in 5, you said you have...
I had Leia.
So do I.
Okay.
And I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier of stop doing this in front of a jury, Leia.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
That's what I'm nervous about is like, I think she could really plead a great case at Final Tribal, but I feel like we've talked about like the different Leias that we see. And that's going to be the determining factor. If we get like the game player strategic Leia, I think she has a great shot. If we get that sort of like not owning the fact that you had this list, not owning the fact that you were playing with your friends and trying to get them as far, that's where she's going to lose out on the jury members that weren't on her list.
Yeah.
So then you're losing all of those people and only banking on the people that you're friends with. But also, if she makes it to final three, she will have had to vote out some of these people on her list and basically choose who was worthy to go to the end with. And I think that's going to come into play with the jury members that she has a hand in actually taking out. So it's whatever direction, whatever Leia we get depends. So that's why I have her kind of lower.
I fully agree. The bottom line is Kevin, Lucy, Nick, Sarah, and Megan are all on this jury. They all have legitimate beef against Leia.
Yeah.
And again, it's all game, but Leia is the one saying it's not game, not the jurors.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one bringing that energy to the game and saying, no, these are my friends that I won't vote out.
Right.
If she gets to, like you said, if she gets to tribal council and says, haha, gotcha, this was all a ruse.
Right.
I think Kevin likes that.
Yeah.
I think maybe Lucy will go for that. I think maybe even in the right combination, Sarah will go for that. If she comes in and goes and does what she's been doing at these tribal councils and saying, like, I didn't, it wasn't about playing with my friends. It was just whatever. Those 5 people are not voting for her.
Right.
And that's the game. You can't win without those 5 people.
Yeah.
So that's why I had her there. We covered our 4s. I have Andrew. You have Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So 3.
Bailey.
I also have Bailey. Yes.
Okay.
I cannot figure out the jury's perception of Bailey. We have heard from many people that Bailey can't be beaten. She was on Sarah's list of people that can't be beaten. We were talking about this during the Emily B. Boot episode, if I'm not mistaken, about how Bailey will win in front of a jury.
Mm-hmm.
But also, people are talking about how annoying Bailey is in every episode.
Yeah.
So how much of this is perception? How much of this is reality? How much of this perception is shaping reality? This is why 3 is the perfect spot for Bailey. If Bailey is in the final 3 without Sam and Cooper,
yes,
I think Bailey can win.
Yeah.
I would love to see. Really, again, this goes on the list of statements that 6 months ago I would have been like, this must be a prank.
Wait, which Survivor winner are you going to compare to this
No,
time?
I'm not. I'm done with that game. But I am going to say something else equally insane.
Okay.
I would love to see Bailey win this season.
Oh, I have no issue with that.
Well, I didn't think you would, but it's still an insane thing to say out loud. Because I think that there's nothing wrong with playing emotional Survivor.
Sure, yeah.
Like, and this is the one game where, like, when people are like, oh my God, like, this is so intense, like, sometimes I wish I was just done. I have no problem with people saying that in confessional at all. Because we're talking about a 100-day game.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Like, if you weren't feeling that at some point in a 100 days game, you would be a sociopath or Cooper. Right. Like, the only two types of people who
I was just going to say,
Cooper
doesn't seem to be having much issue with it, but that's
like
he's on a whole other level.
Exactly. I love Bailey, and I think there's a lot of final 3 scenarios Bailey wins in.
Yeah.
She has to get there without Cooper.
Correct.
She has to get there without Sam.
Correct.
She has to have been willing to vote them out.
Yeah. I think this Andrew and her final 2, we've heard her mention Dale and Shannon's relationship. So, like, again, Ian doesn't put this stuff in here for no reason.
Yes.
So I'm like, the first time it happened, I was like, okay, she's just making a comparison. Mm-hmm. The second time, plus the two of them like shaking hands on a final 2 deal, which I think is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like unexpected.
Yes.
Which I like. And I think that helps both of them because we know Bailey's power.
Yeah.
She can tell everybody every plan and still
it doesn't matter.
Get the person out that she wants. So I think Andrew sort of hitching his wagon to Bailey. Maybe I should have moved him up a space. I forgot about this part until we started talking.
Bailey thinks this is Dale and Shannon. I don't. I think this might be Dylan and Devin. Where one person thinks that they can definitely beat the other person in a jury scenario, and it turns out that is not the case.
So Andrew is Devin.
Andrew is Devin here, and like Bailey is Dylan. Can you imagine if Bailey goes to a final tribal council bringing Dylan energy?
Yeah.
Just like, this was crazy. Like, I flipped. I told you guys the plan all the time, and you never voted me out. I flipped back and forth. Wasn't that crazy? I was telling everybody everything. I was like crying and having emotional breakdowns, and I still made it here. Isn't that wild? If she brings Dylan energy to the final tribal council, where Andrew, like, I think Andrew could be good in front of a jury, but I think Andrew has a very interesting tightrope to walk.
Yeah.
Where if people are walking in with this perception of him as cocky and arrogant, he has to come in and not do that.
Right.
And I think if Andrew is coming in feeling like he's got it sewn up, if it's like Andrew, Bailey, and Adam, and Andrew walks in like, give me the crown, and Bailey comes in like, wasn't this a wild game, you guys? We were all in an alliance. I was in an alliance with everybody here.
Yeah.
And you didn't vote me out and I made it. I think Bailey wins All Stars.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, there's so many interesting, like, I can't believe I'm going to take this Leia meta right here, but there's so many interesting sociological implications to Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many sociological implications to College Survivor that are very different. When we talk about the types of people that win CBS Survivor, historically, there has been a lot of imbalance.
Yeah.
When we look at College Survivor, as a whole, there hasn't really been the same kind of imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there have been gender issues, and like we're 3-1 right now with our Survivor Michigan winners, but it's not necessarily like where we've seen really strong females get stomped out by like bro type males. In fact, in Michigan too, you could say something opposite of that happens, where you have somebody like Nick who did kind of play a strategic game, and somebody like Mallory who played a more soft touch social game and won the jury that way.
Yeah.
Bailey winning Michigan All-Stars would be a positive thing, like a net positive for the community. Again, things that if 6 months ago me had heard me say, they would think I was like drunk right now. But it's true.
Yeah.
Because Bailey played emotional, but she was in the center of every single vote except for the Emily B vote. And now this whole Megan thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I yeah.
To quote the great Monique, I would like to see it. And now we have this top two. And I think you and I are probably going to have the top two flipped here.
You might be surprised.
Who's your number one?
Cooper.
My number one is Sam.
Okay. I thought you were going to have Cooper.
So
and you were going to think that I had Sam.
We've been doing power rankings for how many years now? A couple of years now.
Yeah.
And you and I, since the beginning, have always had two different philosophies about power rankings.
Yeah.
I always put number one, the person I think has the better shot of getting there. And you always put number one, the person you think would win in a final two between those two people. And that's why we always end up with different ones and twos.
Yeah, that's
always
a good point.
And so when I was making this ranking, I was like, Joe's going to put Cooper first and Sam second, and I'm going to put Sam first and Cooper second. And it's why this podcast exists, honestly, is so because funny. We always do this, and we are in total agreement about all of the merits and then end up just switching the numbers. And it's why this dynamic works.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to who do we want to do first? Let's do Sam first.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's do Sam. You want to start or me?
I have Sam number one, so I'll start, and I'll sell Sam and you sell Cooper.
Oh boy. Okay.
Sam has relationships with so many of these people.
Mm-hmm.
He has the Sam mist.
Mm-hmm.
All Sam has to do is get here and figure out what the right moment to cut Cooper is.
Yeah.
That this is going to be the Sam game. It's all going to come down to this.
Mm-hmm.
How far does he let Cooper get? And when does he say it's time? I have to cut Cooper now.
Yeah.
I have loved Sam's game so far. I think Sam is one of the most genuine people we've ever seen play College Survivor, which is so strange to say something that about somebody who's been so deceitful and has played all these tricks and all these crazy things. But Sam has my favorite quality in a Survivor player. And actually, Sam and Cooper both have this. It's my favorite quality in a Survivor player is when they're in confessional, they feel like they're letting you in on a secret.
Mm-hmm.
It's something Rob Cesternino says about Rob Mariano all the time, why people love Boston Rob, and he's like the face of that franchise, is because when Rob's in confessional, it's like he's telling you like, oh man, these people, like, I can't believe what's going on. Like, can you believe what they're doing? And it makes you love them. And that's what I felt about Sam this season, is this genuine affection for him as a game player, because he's always saying, these people, they're all on my hit list and I'm going to take them out. And it feels like me and Sam are having a conversation. Like, oh yeah, like, are you? Like, who's on the list this week, Sam?
Right.
Like, and I love it. Sam's coup de grace of cutting Cooper would be perfect. Sam can sit at the end with Leia and win. Sam can sit at the end with Bailey and win. Sam can sit at the end with any combination of Adam and Bree and Andrew and win. He just has to figure out when the right time to lose Cooper is. I am worried for Sam, even though he's my number one. If Leia versus Cooper happens, it was in the preview. It's the whole thing.
I know.
Sam has to vote for Cooper because he can't lose Leia at this point.
No, right.
But it's too early. It's one or two votes too early to lose Cooper here.
Mm-hmm.
If Sam can get out Andrew this week, or I think if Sam can lose Andrew or Bailey this week, Sam is going to win Survivor Michigan. Hot take,
Wow.
I know, but I'm saying
I like that.
Say nice things about Sam now.
You did such a good job. It's funny. I was going to put Sam at number 1 because I feel like just looking at the big picture, how many things he's been able to do and recover from, how many times he has almost gone home and has used his magical mist to get out of it has been so impressive this season. Like it's hard not to root for him. Like you can't not root for Sam. And like you were saying before, just he's giving us everything. Like he the genuine emotions, like the fun confessionals, like just whatever information he gets from other people, being able to use that to his advantage. Like it's all been great. So this was tough. Like this was like literally like a 51-49 split on the number 1 spot. I think I just kind of inched Cooper up really more just from this week of literally the entire cast was about to vote you out and you got out of it and also got immunity from someone. So I think that's why I nudged him up there. But no, I agree. Like Sam is also one of those people that like has to take out Cooper. And then, right, that's when it happens is important. And then literally any combination of the other people that are left, he has an amazing shot at winning. So yeah, it's just if and when. So like Cooper, I think staying this week helped Sam.
Yes, totally.
Next week, if Cooper goes, it's like Sam kind of like bumps up that list of like the biggest threats, and everybody could be like, well, let's just get him next. Yeah. So I'm nervous for both of them.
Me too.
And I think next episode is going to be I feel like not knowing anything, I think we're going to have a lot of interesting things to talk about going into Final 6.
I know. All right, now sell me on. Let's do Cooper Mania 2023.
Cooper Mania.
Coop Daddy. I'm ready to bring it back. Coop Daddy. I'll let you take the lead on this one. You're number 1.
Like, what is there even to say? Like, has anyone not been watching the season? He's just played a great game. Like, come on. I don't know. I'm not as good as beefing up people as you are, but no, he's played an incredible game. I think, again, like he's been able to get away with things like saving Andrew way back when, utilizing the information he gets, recovering from situations well, understanding, the game moves that other people are trying to make, whether they're against him or not. I like, it would be too obvious that he's the winner. Like, I don't see, like, if you're at Final 8 and 6 to 7 people are willing to vote you out, that's not going to go away for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And like I said before, Andrew was willing to vote him out. Leia was willing to vote him out. Like, that's not going to just disappear. So, like, I would be shocked if Cooper makes Final 3. If he does, he probably wins.
He definitely wins.
Yeah. So I think I'm like also giving him like my number 1 spot as an almost like, let me make sure he gets that before he gets voted out. So I think that was a little part of it too. But yeah, it's like, it would be, I don't know. Like it's as well as he is as a game player, he also still it's still kind of an uphill battle for him. Like this week that he got through was like really great for him, but he still needs to survive 4 more votes.
Yes.
And I just don't know even if like one or two other people are taken out before him, like I just don't see him. I don't see anyone wanting to bring him to 3. So I just,
No.
I think his path is running short.
I think at this point, Cooper's best case scenario is basically to get Malcolmed, like to get it to the final 4 and have a chance to win immunity. And if you don't win immunity, you get voted off.
Yeah.
Because Cooper can't lose in a final 3.
Right.
There's no final 3 here that Cooper loses in. There's no final 3 where I even think it's close.
Yeah.
Even if it's Cooper, Sam, and Bailey, I don't think it's close. If it's Cooper, Sam, and Leia, I don't think it's close. If it's any combination of the rest of these people, it's not close.
Yeah.
Because Cooper has played an incredible game. He came in, he is the target, the most visible target here. And he was able to navigate all of these people. He was able to build relationships with all of these people.
Mm-hmm.
He's played a masterful game. Yeah. And like you said, like I'm glad you said that, because I also want to make sure we're giving Cooper proper credit for the quality of game he has played. Aside from the double boot, where he could have gone in what would have been maybe the biggest move in Survivor Michigan history.
Yeah.
He has never really been in trouble. He has never really made any mistakes. Yep. He's played an incredible game.
Yeah.
There's no chance these people are letting him get
to
the end. If they let him get to the final 4, they're foolish.
That's so risky.
There's no way.
Yeah.
They shouldn't let him get anywhere close.
Yeah.
But if he gets there, he wins.
Yeah.
And it's over. It's going away.
Right.
The question for Cooper is, we're seeing Cooper versus Leia. Andrew is a Cooper guy still. Even after all of this, he was willing to vote him out, blah, blah, blah. Andrew's a Cooper guy. Can Andrew get Bailey back? That's 3 people. If it turns out to be Cooper versus Leia, Cooper, Andrew, and Bailey vote for Leia. Leia, Sam, and Bree vote for Cooper. Is Adam the swing vote there? Is there a chance all of this work Cooper has been putting in with Adam in the last week pays off? I mean,
if Cooper manages to take out Leia next week, whoa. But again, I still don't I don't think anyone's locking in with him.
No, they're still not taking him. No,
Cooper could take out anyone.
I mean,
he just doesn't have a path. I really don't think so.
Again, we say that, but what is Andrew doing? What is Bailey? I mean, Bailey is ready to turn. So I'm giving Bailey more credit. But what is Andrew doing?
I don't know.
Is Andrew really ready to keep walking 2-3 more weeks forward with Cooper? Bailey, what is Bailey doing? I don't know.
Yeah. Who else does Andrew have?
Megan. That's why he shouldn't have voted her out. But Andrew has Bailey. That's the whole thing.
Right.
And so I look at Andrew and Bailey as a duo at this point, because she has said, I'm not voting Andrew out.
Right.
And of course it's Bailey. Things change. But I am so ready to just close the book on Cooper and say he's played a brilliant game and he's going home in next week, the week after, whatever. But maybe not.
I know.
Maybe not.
I know.
Stranger things have happened in Survivor. I mean, we said last season, we had this exact same conversation about Dale last season. We said Dale wins against anybody if he gets there, but there's no way these people are letting Dale get to the end. And then they did.
Yeah.
And then he won.
Yeah. I mean, Cooper could do it. He is capable.
I mean, if Cooper wins Michigan All-Stars, I mean, we're talking goated. I mean, we're talking is Cooper the best person to ever play College Survivor?
Right.
He's already in that top 10 tier for me.
Yeah.
For sure. Getting here to the final 7 and the way he's gotten here to the final 7, he's already in that top 10 tier for me. I'm already ready to put him in that conversation. if he could somehow win this game, and I know there will be people who disagree, there people say, oh, he played with his friends, blah, blah, blah. He had all these relationships. He was the host. I don't care.
Yeah.
Those people are wrong. And
Right.
I would say right here on the podcast, anybody who says that is wrong, because you can't come into a game with that size target on your back, be dead to rights twice, and manage to weasel out, win the game, and not be the GOAT.
Right.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And again, no matter what happens to Cooper, if he gets voted out tomorrow night, he's still in that tier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's a great player. I totally agree.
But if he wins, he'd be the best ever.
Yeah.
I'd be totally willing to say that he would be the best ever to play.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Crunch time.
I know.
Getting right down to it, Joe.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And we only have one day to wait for the next episode.
I'm ready. I mean, I have 2 days because I have to work tomorrow night. But
oh, shoot. Okay.
I know. And I have to work till 11 tomorrow. And I can't, like, Survivor Michigan is one of those shows I can't half watch.
Yeah, no.
Like, I have to be all in on it, except for the time I watched an episode of The Bus Stop. But that was just because I couldn't wait to see what happened. And it was the Emily B boot, so it was totally worth it. Because it was totally worth it. Because I was like, oh my! And I got home like just in time, like to turn on the TV, like right in like post immunity challenge when they were like, okay, 30 minutes. Everybody's out in the hallway. Everybody's like, we're good, right? We're good. It was like, again, comparing every episode of this season to a movie, it was like the bank heist, and you know it's about to happen. Like, and then the guys walking into the bank, and you just see everybody just like exchanging their money with a teller and joking and using the ATM, and you're like, oh my god, a bank heist is about to happen, and none of these people know it. And that's exactly what it felt like when they were standing there in the hallway. That episode is an all-time great Survivor episode for me as well. Incredible. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right.
The flip heard round the world. A great moment. Joe, we are almost done. I can't believe it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see the end game.
I know.
I'm ready.
Did they say that there was only 3 episodes left that I dreamed that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We have been so busy. It has been weeks. I have no idea. I had to
I thought there was a Matthew playing. So.
Yes, we're power ranking Matthew and Camila and Nate and Jack.
And the Lawrence brothers.
We're power ranking everybody. Andrew's girlfriend #1 this week in the power ranking.
Yes.
Maybe she'd be better in front of a jury than he will be. Who knows? And then all this to say, maybe Andrew comes in and just demolishes his final tribal, just totally Tarowski's the whole situation, and just like totally win. Who knows?
Hey.
But you know what? We're gonna find out.
We will.
And I can't wait until we do. So on that note, I'm Paul. I'm here with Joe. This has been the Power Rankings, guys. We are happy to be here. Thank you for sticking with us. We love you guys. Send us comments, send us DMs, anything you want to ask, anything you want us to ask. We'll get the tea. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
You have to stop it.